I feel the cool breeze. It's such a lovely tease.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to our Posca paint party. And today I'm really excited because we've had a lot of people asking Drew to do something with the flower of life. And so we're finally doing that today. And I want to let you all know, if you don't have something to make circles with, either a protractor or, something you can use to draw around, like a drinking glass or a plate, go get that right now because you're going to need that. And I want to just talk about, can I just talk for a minute about like my experience with learning about the flower of life?
Sure.
A little bit. So years ago, and Jillian, if you could bring a photo, just start the photo slideshow. So years ago, Drew started playing around with painting the flower of life. And we got a book called The Flower of Life. If we could flip to that next photo of the book, Jillian. So there's a book. Oh yeah, there we go. The Ancient Secret of the Flower of Life. So we got this book, volume 1 and volume 2. And in the book is a photo of an ancient site in Egypt called the Temple of Osiris.
It's this Assyrian temple in Abydos.
Thank you. And the photo is of the flower of life in stone. And I remember seeing it in the book and thinking, gosh, that would be so cool to see that in person. And then I forgot about it. And then a couple years later, we went to Egypt and we ended up at that site. And I couldn't believe it. Like, we were there looking at this stone, and there it is on the screen. And actually it's about 14 feet high. So really hard to get photos of.
There's a number of them on the stones within the temple. And as an artist, I mean, it was amazing to see these. They're super old. And just to tell you, and as you're about to learn, to draw this is easy but complicated at the same time. And so you could easily get it wrong. So the fact that they did this in stone so beautifully and precision, the lines are about 1/8 of an inch thick, and absolutely amazing that it was done so long ago and it's still here for us to see. And yeah, go ahead.
Okay, next photo. And then I just want to show you a couple photos of the temple itself. That's what it looks like. And we actually walked around down there all over, and the water was actually higher when we were there. So it was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
And precarious. And then the next two photos are of Drew and myself. Let's flip to the next photo. Yeah, see, that's how high the water was when we were there. So you had to like hop on the stones to not end up in the green water.
So it's below the water table today, but it would have been in their time, the water table would have been much lower. So there's actually even more to the temple underneath it that you can't access.
And then the next photo is of me inside the temple.
Yeah.
It was pretty phenomenal place to visit.
Cool.
So that's kind of the excitement and inspiration behind the Flower of Life.
Yeah. And I'll be telling you more stories about how I became interested in this and why. And so we're going to get started. First, we want to let everybody know we're going to be giving away another set of Posca pens like we always do, because thanks to Posca, we're able to do these videos and share with everybody. And so if you haven't won yet, I hope you do.
Yep.
Today.
And one other thing I want to mention is if you have any questions, type it in the chat and I'll make sure we get most of the questions answered. And if you want to share your art partway through, just hit the little raise hand button or write it in the chat and we'll get you up on the screen and let you share your work.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
All right. I'm going back to my office.
So let's get started. Jillian, can you post the big flower of life that I have, the blue one? Let's see if we can bring that up on the screen. You passed it in the photograph.
Sorry, 1 second, just getting it back up.
Okay. but what I want to share with everybody, this is a great exercise in design. So I really became interested in the flower of life due to my study of physics. And so a lot of you who don't really know the other things that I'm into, but I'm really interested in science, and I'm just fascinated with the fact that when I see nature, it's all designed very specifically, and there's these magic numbers in there, like the golden number and something like the Fibonacci ratio, and all these things that keep coming up that make it easier for you to design things. And so I didn't really go to school. Maybe they teach this in school. I'm not really sure. But when I started studying physics, the only way I could understand what some of these mentors were teaching me was to draw it. And so it all starts with the flower of life, which is essentially drawing circles. And what's really great about this exercise, yeah, this is the one I was telling you about. So this is a 12-foot painting I did for the ceiling of a meditation center. And this is a fractalized version of the flower of life. So each one of those large circles is 3 feet in diameter. And it's an absolutely huge painting. And you can see how beautiful this is, almost like it's crystallized or something like that. But more importantly, what's in there is all these points that allow you to design things and make it more interesting. So, I'm not going to go into all the things of the flower of life. Within this, you have all the platonic solids. You can make Metatron's cube. You can make all these crazy 3-dimensional designs based off of these points. And, you start to understand chemistry, biology, music, physics, mathematics, and art. You like things because it has good symmetry to it, or good design and good composition. And what this little exercise is going to help you appreciate these things and hopefully try to emulate nature and have fun with this. So as you can see, thanks, Jillian. That's good to have that. I'm going to get this microphone out of the way. So, this class and exercise, no matter what you have to draw on, it needs to, doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to teach you how to do this, and you're going to need practice. You're going to get it wrong a few times. And, but trust me, it is so fun doing it. And all you're doing is drawing circles. So whether you have like a protractor like I have, or you might have a cup or a plate or something, depending on what size, you need something that's small enough to, be able to do it on whatever size paper or board or canvas or wood or whatever you're painting on. You can even do them really small, like around a quarter or $50 or something would be really nice. And so what you want to do, let me show you this first. This right here is called the seed of life. So this is the starting blocks of how we do this. And it's very repetitious, it's very methodical, and it's going to be very easy, hopefully. If you want, you could actually make a little thing like this. This is a big one, but you could make a small one of these and have it crisscross the center, and that would really help you do it. So depending on your tools, you can do this a number of different ways. I'm going to use the protractor, or not, it's a compass. Sorry, I don't know where I'm saying protractor. But I'll do it both ways. This is one that I just did. So I'm going to be doing mine with a paint pen so you can see it. I would advise you to do yours in pencil. So you can, if you make a mistake, you can erase it and try to get it right. Once you learn how to do this, you'll know how to do it every time and not have a problem. All right, so here we go. There's one I did. So I'm going to draw something like that. So first of all, I normally don't do this. You don't have to, but I'm going to do it anyway just to show you, so I can get the center point. So I'm going to get the center point of this. It's 14, so let's do that. And then if you have a right angle thing, that would help. If not, you just have to measure up at the top. But you want to find your middle point of your surface. And I find it really interesting, you know, a lot of artists say they're not good in math, or like when I was a kid, it's not necessary to be good in math. And I'm measuring stuff all day, every day in my job. And so if you're a young person and you think you don't have to be good at math to be an artist, that is not true. I use so much mathematics every day, and I'm very thankful, because actually, you know, what we're doing is we're articulating an idea, a mathematical idea, in the flower of life. And so there we got my center point. Now, I'm going to do this one all in red, since I have this nice red pen, nice red 1mm Posca. And I'm going to set it up in my compass. Now, it sounds silly, but you want to start off with one circle right in the middle. Let me get this right underneath the camera so everybody can see it. And real gently, you know, do this in pencil. It's a lot easier. Just get a nice clean circle and let it dance around. Just like that. So there's your first circle. Now, all you have to do is, let me turn this like this. I want my seed, this is the seed of life. I want this point right here to be here. So I'm going to put the red point there. Let's see if you can see this. I'm going to put the tip of the red at the top of that line, and then this other one at the edge of the circle. So that's all I'm doing, right? And I'm going to make this line. Now, there's really no wrong way to do it. You can actually put the edge, you could put it at any point on that circle and create this pattern. I'm going to do it again without the line, without the straight line, so you can see. So this first two is the Vesica Pisces. So these all have names within mathematics and geometry. So that first line is 2 circles. So then you want to take either this one or this one, that intersecting line, and put your compass. And if you're doing it with this, you'd want to make sure that you do your circle with this, and then all you have to do is line up the center and the side. So I'm going to put my compass right there, and it should hit all these lines, including the center line. So every line intersects with the center. And this gets real meditative, like if you're listening to music. Now I'm just going to go along and I'm going to hit this one. I'm going to put it right on the intersecting lines and go like this. And that one looked like it was a little off, and you'll have some a little off sometimes. And that looks like I just made a little mistake, but it's not too bad. Move this out of the way. But now I just move to that next point, that next crossing point. Make sure, maybe I should put my glasses on so I don't miss it this time. And so try your hardest to make sure you get it right on the right line. And a good way to know is to see if it lines up with the center point. But it's real methodical. We're just going right around each intersecting line. So I'm going to go to this next one here after that intersecting line. And I'll do another circle. And if you have a question, put it in the chat.
Drew, Angie has a question.
Sure.
She wants to know, do you have any tips on how to get the compass to not shift when you're drawing?
Yeah, so I'm not sure. There's lots of different compasses. Some are better than others. this is a really good one. It takes a little bit of skill to guide it around. You want to make sure that you have a nice tight bond here and the pencil's not moving around. You just want everything nice and stiff. So I have had that problem with other compasses. So just try to work with it and you're going to find what works best with your compass. And you want to kind of just glide it around. You can't really force it. It kind of has to glide. So that was the first go around right here. And you can see this pattern is the seed of life. That's what they call it. They all have names to them. And so what we're going to do now is take these other intersecting lines. Got a little bit of delay here. Look, right here, 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 and here, and you just do a whole nother layer. Now you could do this as big as you want. And this is all the same circle. And you're making this beautiful design. And this isn't even the magic part yet. The magic part's coming. So you can see I made the mistake on this one over here and it's thrown it off just a little bit, but it's okay. You know, I make mistakes, you're going to make mistakes. The practice is really to try to make it perfect one time. That's what's so amazing about the one in Abydos is that it's perfect. And this is so hard, you know, if you get it just a little bit wrong, you definitely see it. So you see how I just keep going around? Now, I'm going to finish this one and then I'm going to do one with the cup so anybody who doesn't have a compass can see how to do it with the cup. And please ask questions. But all I'm doing is doing circles. Now, I just keep going around. It's nice when you have like a really big piece of poster board to do these on. And you can imagine you can color these in. And you can keep going all the way out. I mean, you just, right, something like this. I think this one needs to go here. Sorry, my hands are in the way if you can't see, but if you're doing this exercise, you're probably very focused right now. So what's neat about this, I'm just going to show you something real quick. You know, within this, you have like all these shapes and platonic solids and things. And why this is neat, if you see if we can go to my straight on picture, and I'll show you this painting behind me. If anybody out there is listening, there we go. So this is a print of one of my paintings, and I created this shape by doing the flower of life. And so if I had to try to measure this thing out and create this, it would be like a mathematical puzzle that would be so difficult to do. But yet with the flower of life, it makes it very easy. And this is an articulation of a three-dimensional shape. And that three-dimensional shape is this. This is something I bought in Egypt, which is a shape. And so when you think of what we're doing here, it's really geometry, mathematics, and you know, these natural things. This is another print of one of my pieces, and all of these shapes are created with the flower of life, the platonic solids that Plato identified. And what's neat about this is these shapes are the building blocks of all things. And so different combinations of these shapes make everything that you see. So like for me, when I was, trying to study physics, I had to be able to draw these things because it didn't make sense to me. Like, how do they know this? And it was really cool. So then the next thing I realized, and what I'm going to show you now, is it scales. And when you think of scaling, these circles, if we do that half space, another pattern of flower of lives inside of this, smaller and larger, will fit perfectly within this pattern. So it's scalable. So this is important because within design, there's these scales, and if you have this underlying painting, you could really focus on getting all the symmetry and all the beauty which is within design. And so I started like learning about this, and these numbers started coming up, like 1.618 and all these nature numbers, and it was blowing my mind. And so I went back and I had this little device that kind of measures things within my old paintings. And what's really neat is I was finding those numbers in that design in my paintings. And so that's something artists might do naturally, because they're trying to make things look, they want people to like them. So, sometimes you see a painting and you like it or you don't like it, and you don't know why. Well, the reasons why is because the composition's off, or some type of symmetry is wrong, the proportions are wrong. All of these things are contained within this diagram. So I'm going to show you like a way to scale this. I'm going to use another color. I'm going to use a black one. And hopefully everybody's drawing flowers of life, and don't get frustrated if you get it wrong. Just draw another one, and just try keeping the pattern going. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure from here. I got to get it halfway. Let's see. Or actually, let's do it bigger. That might be easier. Compass is not big enough, so we're going to have to do it halfway.
I have a couple questions about the compass, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Okay, so let's see. Let me go back there. Ashley wanted to know if you had any recommendations for a compass, and Mary Lee wanted to know if your compass is set on 2 inches.
I didn't have it set on any precise number. And the number doesn't matter unless you're trying to fit it within a certain space, So this is almost 4.5. So we want 2 1/4, basically. Quarter, which would be 1/8, is that right? Now this is really easy to do with see how close I get with a pencil, because I can make little marks. You can go there, and then you can go there, and you can see how close we are. So I just need to come in just a little bit. There's a great website with my friend Randall Carlson, who does sacred geometry. I think it's .com. And he's an architect, and so he teaches a lot of this stuff. So this is a half scale of the one I just drew, of the red, and you'll see how this fits in there perfectly if I did my measuring right. And it looks like I did it pretty good. Same thing, I just go out to the edge. It doesn't really matter where. Let me see, I want it to go here.
And you have a couple people asking to show about how to use a cup to line it up for the second row. So maybe you could do that next.
Yeah. Let me just do a little round of these. So these are half scale, and all of a sudden you see how this fractalized. And so hopefully everybody can see this. And it just creates, so if you imagine doing this and then being able to color these in, It's so fun. Mind putting this right here? So if I continued going out, this would fit perfectly within everything else that I did. Does everybody see that? Now, it's pretty extraordinary once you start doing it, and it gets real, like I said, it gets real meditative. And then you can imagine being able to color all these in, but also you be able to connect the dots, you know, with straight lines. And that's how you make all these complex shapes like this, by lining up the points. Here, I'll put it here. Is there a super delay? But so like all these shapes you can make. So you can make a 3D cube in this and it would be perfect. And it's all within these points. So why don't I show the cup? Because I know some people don't have a compass, but I mean, this thing's beautiful. So let's try it again. And I'm not going to put a straight line anywhere. I'm just going to do, you know, I'm going to take this cup. I'm going to try to get it in the middle somewhere.
Rick Davis said it reminds him of his spirograph drawing he set that he had as a kid.
Yeah.
Wish I still had it.
I wish I had one of those as a kid.
I do too. I'm sure we could find them online. I mean, I think I'm going to look for one and order it.
Yeah. So with your cup, the problem you have with your cup is you have no center point. So then you got to find it. And so it's a little bit different. You do the circle, and then you got to find the width of the circle somewhere. Let's see. So that looks like it's right at 4. So somewhere like right here, it's 2. And so let's measure. Maybe. So
you have to get it dead in the center, right, for it to work.
Yeah. So, but this is pretty close. This should be 2 and 2. Let me check it again. Yeah. So you just need a ruler, and you just need to find the center.
Stacey said you can get spirograph on Amazon.
Amazon, you can get anything on Amazon.
Just about.
So there again, it doesn't matter. At this point, you could put that next circle anywhere. You just have to make sure that it's going over the center line. Okay, so I want my peak to be there, so I'm going to kind of do right there. But it's the same process. Maybe put your finger on your cup so that you can get it right. And here you go. This is that first circle, which is the Vesica Pisces. It works really well. Sometimes doing it in reverse. So like if you have a circle like, let me get the delay. There it is. Wow. Sorry, folks, the picture's a little bit delayed. But so you have this type of thing here. This really helps to have a circle like that. So you could make one, instead of having the outer one, you have the inner one. And then, so depending on how you do it. All right, so from there, all you have to do is match up the center with these cross lines. So maybe put your lead of your pencil on that cross line and then make it go over the center or line up against the center there. And you go again. So is everybody seeing that?
Say hello to Nicole Guyett. She's hard at work on this right now. Hi, Nicole.
Nicole, you remember when I showed you this a long time ago?
This is so fun. We have a lot of really good friends that are on right now. Debbie McKee has a question. Is
Sure.
the repeat in 6s or 8s?
What is the question?
Is the repeat, she asked this a good 10 minutes ago, and I'm just getting to it, in 6s or 8s, like the repeat pattern, 6 or 8?
It's, I'm not quite what she's getting at.
Okay.
Hey,
Debbie,
we'll bring her on when she comes on. So,
all right.
You can see if you have this cup, one of the things you want to do is if you have this one, you align that one up with the center, and then have another dot here. So that's the other measurement you need to do to make sure you get this other mark. And I'm sure you could make some marks on your cup to make this easier too.
So Laura Hughes had a great suggestion if you're using paper. She said, we folded our paper in half each way to find the center spot.
Good,
Brilliant.
good. Yeah, good tip. So you can see I'm just going around now and I'm just lining up the center line and the cross line. And so like I have all these like little cutouts for my different paintings that I've done where I created these things. And I would make scalable versions of these circles, and I'd just be tracing the circles. So like when you think of a lot of my big paintings I did, like that really big one from the beginning, that was done with having a circle that was 3 feet wide. So, you know, that was a big circle, and I had to build a table where I could only see a certain portion of that at a time. And it was really hard to do it, but I trusted that my mathematics were right and everything was going to look good. So from here, you just do the same thing. You have these points and this point, and all you want to do is line those up to get your next line. And it should you'll see that this cup, it should fit there and there, all the way to there. And it should line up almost perfectly. And you can see like how just a little subtle jog will, you know, make it not quite right. And so you just keep going around lining up the points. And so this one and this one. Did I get it? There we go. Now we're going to have to do a whole nother class on how to expand upon this and create some other designs. If you looked in like Da Vinci sketchbooks, Leonardo da Vinci was drawing the flower of life in his sketchbooks. That would be a great picture to show everybody.
I'll find it for you and I'll bring it up.
So I'm not going to go all the way through, you know, just doing it. But so you see how this works with a cup. So a cup is good, but a circle is better. I think a circle is better because then you can kind of make your marks on there and use it as a guide. This one's just too big to use, and I should have made a little one, but I wonder if I have anything else. But if you have like something round, like a coaster or something like that, that would work. And let me bring this one back up. I can't see everybody. Is everybody hard at work?
Yes, they are. Absolutely. I mean, everybody's like really focused.
And you can see, like, say, if I started painting this, you know, and I was getting, you know, and I was just doing these little seeds. Now, you know, I've traveled extensively throughout the world, and I've seen this flower of life on so many things. And so this is a flat surface. One of them that you see it on is the foo dogs in China. And they have these balls, and the flower of life would make a ball. And within that ball, they would get what's called the 64 star tetrahedron, which is a geometric shape. And it's just very interesting that it crosses cultures. I was in Bosnia, and for some reason in Bosnia, they have these giant stones on top of mountains everywhere, and the flower of life is all over these stones. So it's a mathematical articulation of kind of how the universe is working, is kind of the way it's described, and how it's built. And it's kind of neat because after, you start to see this within nature, it is just so beautiful to see. Now, you don't see the flower of life itself in nature. You actually can in some like leaf patterns and things, but it's really the mathematical formulas and shapes that come out of this. So you can see, like, you could just pick these different shapes and paint them.
I found one of the Leonardo da Vinci's Flower of Life. I'm going to share that on the screen right now. Is that the one you were referring to?
Yep. And so it's just a neat articulation of how things work. And it seems like somebody in ancient times had discovered this and, had this way of doing geometry so that they could figure out these formulas, what would work best within architecture, what would work best with design and music. The scalability seems to be tied to music as well. Like these shapes, our whole base system of measuring 360 degrees in a circle is kind of tied to this. Why is there 360 degrees in a circle, and how you break them down? All the, when you think of mapping and all of, three-dimensional mapping is really based off of this too. It just becomes very obvious that this was something very important. And I think it's cool because it kind of bridges the gap between art, mathematics, and science. So I'm just going to keep playing with mine. And why don't we open it up and talk to people? Because I'm sure people are either struggling or having epiphanies, or they have comments.
So I'm going to read a few.
I don't know what.
Okay, so I'll read some of the comments. Okay, let's see. Lila said, "This is so wonderful. My first time here. I love your explanations as you go. This is easy to follow also. Thank you." Shayna said, "On my third mistake, LOL." And Shayna actually had done a Flower of Life painting earlier, and I hope she's willing to share it with us. Good. And then a couple more. CJ from Japan said, "Ha, I've never used an eraser so much until today."
You'll get it right, CJ. Don't worry.
Judy wanted to know what size pen you're using right now.
Okay, I'm using a 5. I think a 3 would work best.
I just have to say we have 111 people on right now.
Oh, wow, that's kind of cool.
I thought I'd share that, 111.
But you can see like how all of a sudden you have this ability to do this like really cool design work. And, these things nest within each other. So like this, smaller Flower of Life nests within the bigger one, and then the next scale. So do the shapes. So if I was going to take this and let's get a different color pen. Let's use maybe orange. If I was going to create a triangle and I was going to go from here to here and make this one of the Platonic solids, this equilateral triangle, it fits right in there. So that's why this thing is so important and how cool it is. You have that shape. Now, let me take this one and let's do, got all these like sketches everywhere.
So a couple people are saying they're getting lost, and
okay.
One person asked if you could start from the beginning again.
Sure.
And I would like to say, I think it seems like a lot of people are really interested in this. Maybe we should do this again next Monday. maybe with a little different twist on it. I don't know. What do you think, Drew?
Yeah, we could.
Okay.
I'll do another one in just a second. I just want to do this. I did this square too long, but it fits. You know, it's definitely, since I have this square. But if I had to done it out, this would be a cross section. So, and just being able to do these.
So Tina said, I tried 3 times. It's not perfect, but if I had a compass, I know it could do it better. And I think, you know, what everybody needs to know is this is one of those things that you get good at after you do it a few times, right?
Yeah, so everybody out there, you know, you can imagine me reading some like really crazy physics stuff, and I'm like, well, I want to know how to do this. And I'm just sitting there thinking like, well, I got to learn how to draw this stuff. And I didn't believe what I was reading, so I had to try it. And then I was just amazed as I started doing, you know, some of these designs, and be able to understand, you know, like, so if you're done things with perspective or something like that, that stuff comes into mind. So you're doing all these, like, you know, complicated drawings, but it helps you, because if you had to make these angles and stuff without these points of reference, it would be almost futile. So let me flip this over, and I'm going to start over. Should I do it with a compass, or should I do it with a cup?
I think you should do it with a cup, because I think most people are using that.
Cups. Okay.
Yeah, and everybody's saying cup, cup, cup.
Cup. Okay.
I've got a bunch of cups in the chat, so definitely.
Okay.
Don't use the compass. There will be a riot.
All right, no compass. Most people don't have one, I know. So there again, you just try to find the center point the best you can, and then we're gonna go around. Now, with that, we gotta find the center. I want to put that on there. So if you should have at least a ruler. So this is perfect. So it's like 10 centimeters. So we want 5. Let's see if we can get 5 here. Oh, the 5 is there. So that's my center right there. Do you see how I did that? I cross-referenced it both ways, and I found the center. So I went this way and got the middle, and then went this way and then refined the middle. Okay, and then from there, it's really just setting it down anywhere and making sure that the pen's going to go through that center point right there. Okay, so this is the most important line right here. So if you look up cell division within, you know, the growing of like a, you know, a baby, this is the first thing that happens. You can actually see these cells dividing in this pattern. It's so beautiful.
Okay, Vivian just said, holy crap, it clicked. I did it.
All right.
Yay.
Like so now, in order to get this other line, you want to, let me get mine, make sure that this all goes through. This should be right at 5. So we want to line it up, and I'm going to make that mark there. So then I'm going to hold this right here, make it go through the middle in that line. And so that was the only other time you're going to have to measure. Now from there, all you have to do is make sure that they go through this middle line. I'm going to mark it in blue now. Everybody see it? I don't know if you can see that. I can barely see it. So then I'm going to
Can't
go
really see it.
there and there. So all you're doing is just making sure it lines up with these other intersecting lines.
Say hi to the Sutz family from South Carolina.
Hey guys, what's up? My good friends. So what's neat about this is from there, you're just wanting to make sure that wherever this cup is, it's intersecting these lines. Like, so there's one here in the intersection, and then there's one there, which is the center. So that's good. And then you're ready to do a line. Like, woo, there you go. And you just keep intersecting the line. So here's, you want
This is my favorite part right here.
You should be doing this, honey. This is very therapeutic.
I would be, but I got to read all the comments and stuff. I'll do it later with the replay on YouTube. Which, by the way, everybody, if you want to watch the replay, we will have the replay up on YouTube within 24 hours if you want to watch this all over again. And you just go to YouTube and look for Brophy Art Academy YouTube channel. Drew, that is beautiful. It's so simple, but it is so beautiful.
And it's going to be so satisfying when you get it right, you know? And so then from there, you're going to do another batch of circles, right? So you basically have 6 circles, 1 in the middle, which is 7. And then it's going to go a whole nother layer around it.
6 circles. Debbie McKee says, yes, see, it's 6 circles.
Oh, so that's what she was asking. I thought she was talking about some type of fabric, because she does fabric. I know that. Maybe it was like.
So Suzanne from Vancouver, she said, I have way too many circles. I missed the first part. So I think this is one of those things you just have to kind of do it.
So Suzanne, I messed up so many sheets of paper before I got it. But then once I did, I was just so fascinated that I just wanted to practice and do more things with this, you know, this design. Not only is it beautiful, but, you know, I really do think this could be a great learning tool to bridge the gap between art, mathematics, geometry, chemistry, biology, music. And I mean, how neat would it be if, you know, an artist is able to create this design, but then in math class, they teach you about all the shapes that are within it. And so, you know, one of the things about the Platonic solids, they all measure 360 degrees with their angles, just like a circle does. So this information or this articulation of the information could help people learn in the subjects that they don't think they're very good at. So for me, I was a very visual person, and, you know, this has helped me bridge that gap of understanding. So like in, you know, when I'm listening to one of these theoretical physicists talk about quantum physics and astrophysics and how everything is this scalar version of itself, and this is how energy moves, and you're just sitting there like, what? And so it was enabling me to, you know, think about it a little different. We're not.
Here's a good question from Carmen McKnight. How do you know when to stop the circles to finish your piece? I just keep seeing unfinished flowers that need more petals. Haha.
Yeah, it's addicting. So, you know, for those of you that are up to it, if you've done a bunch, you can start doing the scalar version. And then, so there it is, caught up quick. Because the scalar version really gets rad quick. And then you can start playing with straight lines. So if you line up the straight lines, and you can start making all the complex shapes, and you'll surprise yourself. You'll just be like, wow. Another good exercise is to maybe do a flower of life and then photocopy it and then do designs over it. When I first started, do we have a picture of a life well lived, that painting?
I can bring that up. I can find it.
So I did this painting.
And then we're going to share, and then we're going to get people to share, because believe it or not, we only have like 10 minutes left.
Well, we'll keep going so we can talk to people. But so I did this painting, and it was a big painting. It was commissioned to paint live at a big trade show called Outdoor Retailer for the company Keen. And unfortunately, my father had just passed away, and I had this giant project, and I was out of ideas. I was just lost. I was so sad and frustrated. And so I had this 18-foot mural I'm supposed to paint, and I had no idea what to do. So I started painting circles, or drawing circles, I should say. And I used this. I used this right here. This is what I used to draw the circles. And so I did an underpainting of the flower of life in this painting, and to help me figure out what I was going to do. And so there's the painting, but I had no idea what I was going to do. I just started doing circles all the way across this thing. So that thing is 6 feet tall, 18 feet long. And within it are all these, complex, designs, and, the platonic solids are in there, and all the things I was learning about the time at the time. There's the painting in a museum. And it just really helped me lay out the painting. It made it balanced, and it made it, I don't know, it just put me in this meditative state that was really cool. And anyway, you can see where it leads, where you can just kind of, go for it. All right, open it up so we can talk to people.
Okay. All right. Cefe has been waiting a long time. Cefe, if you are still there.
Hi.
What's up, Cefe? Did you get it figured out?
Yep, pretty good.
Yeah, dude, that is awesome.
How?
Are you having fun coloring it?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, a lot.
All right.
From last class doing this.
Whoa, you guys are getting so good, man. That's like the midnight wave.
I also did this one, like a second version. Only that
wow.
with Posca.
It's amazing.
That guy's scary.
This one, I finished it.
Oh yeah, your wolf.
Howling at the moon.
Yeah,
That's
good
awesome.
job.
All right, we're gonna hop over and say hi to Santino, your brother, and see what he's up to. What's up,
Hi.
Santino?
Thanks, Effie.
I might be in my 15th version. Like I have this one. Oh, let me get better light. Give me a sec.
Is it in pencil?
Yeah, I'm getting better light.
Yeah, it would be hard to see, but are you getting the concept of putting it down?
I am. It's like the 15th time I try, so I did like here. Damn it.
Yeah, it's hard for us to see. So
we can't see it, but if you paint it, show it to us next time.
Okay,
yeah, I can see
will.
it. I saw it glimmering, so it's looking good.
I did that one. That one.
Right on. Well, just keep practicing, and then you're going to have it click, and then it's going to help you with design, and it's going to help you, if you start taking art classes on perspective and symmetry, it's going to really help you in those ways. So good job, man.
Okay, we're gonna pop over to Jody Trujillo. Jody, what's up?
Oh, great.
Hi. Oh my gosh, that was
Hey,
hard.
Jody.
Hi. So this is what I got so far.
Oh, that looks great.
Yeah, I have a bunch of circles, but I just started. I'm gonna focus on one thing.
Yeah.
Do it. Okay.
Isn't it fun to do circles, and then you could paint it differently 100 times?
Oh yeah, yeah. I was enjoying watching you because you're totally in your element. Because like you could see like how much you enjoy it, and you just almost got lost. I could see like getting lost in your world.
Yeah. So yeah, I really appreciate it, and I'm really stoked to share this with everyone. Jody, did you go to art school somewhere? Can you
Oh, 1 minute.
turn her back on?
There we go.
Did you go to art school?
Not full time. I went for a year and then I stopped to have kids.
Yeah. And I'd taken a couple figure drawing classes and things like that, but I think this would have really helped me in some of those design classes.
Oh, my uncles used to do a lot of this kind of art, and so I didn't pay attention. I should have.
Yeah. Well, you know, in Hawaii, they have like, you know, all the tapa, like all the triangles and stuff. It's
Yeah.
the same thing. So like if you go to the Bishop Museum and you see some of those tapa drawings from the ancient Hawaiians, it's essentially the same process. They're just using different shapes.
Right.
Yeah.
And, so they knew, they knew this.
Sorry, we have a lot of people with their hands raised, so I'm trying to I want to try to get to as many as I
Cool.
can. in the
Let's
next
go
5
see her.
minutes. So, Vivian, if you're ready, we are going to spotlight you.
Hi.
There you are. Hi. How are you? Oh,
I'm
wow.
good. Thanks. I like.
Oh, good job, Vivian.
Thank you. It clicked. It took a few. Was working, on, wasting a lot of paper like you're supposed to.
It looks great. So you got it all the way out, and you can really see the structure of it there. And
I kept getting lost on which ring I was actually working on, and I think that was like the confusing part for me. I learned how to do this on graph, like dot paper, like Bujo journal paper, and I learned to connect the dots that way because I'm a henna artist, so people want this design. But luckily, the mind always wants symmetry. So even if it's a little bit off, like this is a little bit off, but it still looks nice, Yeah, it's not perfect.
Yeah, it's fine.
The mind wants to make that connection. So it's muscle
that's what's
memory.
interesting about nature. So nature is trying to get it perfect, but it never does. It's always a little off. So like when they say 1.618 is like the growth ratio of living things, it's actually it goes a little over and a little below, but always closer. And it's just very interesting. And so, when we look at, somebody's face or a leaf and it's not perfect, none of them are actually perfect. It's very,
that's what's awesome about nature. This is my first time using your pens today, so I'm stoked on it. I picked them up today. I left you guys a little rock by your Buddha.
Wondering where that rock came from. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. Thank you.
Oh,
that made my
Spiral.
day. I showed up and I said, where did this come from? Oh, thank you. That's so sweet.
It's a small token. You guys do this classes for free out to the community, and people are, blossoming. I'm blossoming as an artist during this COVID. It's crazy, but I've never done better art in my life, and I do all kinds of different things. So I'm appreciative of what you guys do for free. Thank you.
Thank you so much
for joining us. Yeah.
So sweet of you. Really appreciate
That's so
that.
nice.
All right, so we're gonna go. We've got like 6 more people. And I'm just gonna tell everybody the order so you can be ready. We're gonna go to Rita next, then Jamie, then Vihaita. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing your name, but and then Andina, then Aaron, and then Mario. That order. Okay, so we're going to Rita right now. Hi,
Hey,
Rita.
Hi.
Good to see you.
So I definitely made a lot of mistakes.
Oh, it looks good though.
I love the colors.
Thank you. I love it. I actually use my watercolor pencils because all my paint pens are thick lines, and I was really concerned about it just being way thick. And I gotta definitely practice on regular paper. This is Arch's watercolor paper. That's really, really expensive. So this one's still in pencil that I did. So I'm gonna continue working on that one. But yeah, I mean, I love it. Coming from a yoga teacher background, I know all about this, but I actually really didn't try it because it was like this fear of doing it. So I was so glad you had this class because it, again, pushed me to do something that that I wasn't doing. I was holding back on. So thank you. Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
There's something about doing it, the meditative quality of doing it, that really opens your mind up. I don't know what it is, but it's almost like you're remembering something you already knew.
All right, we're going to go over to Jamie next. Jamie, if you're ready. Hi, Jamie.
Hello. Let's see. Did you have fun doing it? Oh, yeah. Look, you did a great job. Wow.
Wow. That's amazing. We have a bad internet connection, but what did you use to make the circles?
The compass.
Oh, yeah. You had a compass. The compass makes it a lot easier than the cup. Yeah. Well, you did a
Beautiful.
good job. Keep painting it. I can't wait to see it when it's done.
Thank you for sharing. That was awesome. All right, we're going to go to Vihaita. I don't know. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name, but here we go.
Hey.
Hi.
Yeah, good job. You have it down.
Yeah, I made a painting using Posca pens.
Oh, yeah, that looks great.
That is gorgeous. Where are you in the world?
I'm in New York.
New
In
York?
Yeah.
Oh, well, welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
So you're enjoying drawing the flower of life?
Yeah.
Yeah. Practice makes perfect. So, yeah, can't wait to see.
All right, we're going to go over to Andina. We saw her brothers earlier, and now we get to see.
What? She's
Look
in
at
San
that
Francisco.
background.
You in San Francisco? Yeah. Let's see your painting.
I made this one. Oh, wait. I turn off the background.
Yeah, turn that background off.
Yeah.
There you go.
Good.
All right. So you got some good shapes in there.
Oh, I love that.
I
Yeah.
tried to copy this one in the iPad.
Oh yeah, that one's like, wow, that's a hard one, huh?
You
Yeah.
picked a really hard one.
So
Yeah, I did.
but you can see how, this might help you in art and mathematics. So keep practicing, okay?
Yeah.
All right.
All right, we're going to go over to Erin now. Erin.
Hello.
Hi.
Oh yeah, yours looks good.
Oh, you got it.
I'm just kind of stuck like with all the circles now. I don't know where to go next as far as coloring it,
But you can make them like, if you look at the picture we posted of the big mural I did.
Yes, I've been looking at that.
That's a good one, because I was kind of just, creating designs within the flower of life, just because I was stuck. Like and there's just so many things that you could do. Now, there you go. Like you could turn them into leaves. I've seen people paint them as leaves.
Yeah.
I've seen people, do them as snowflakes, which is really cool. Like a snowflake's a great example of this type of imagery, because a snowflake's actually it's not flat, it's actually three-dimensional. And so when you draw these things and fractalize it, you can see in a snowflake how these fractalized patterns are within that flower of life. It's like really nuts. And so it takes a little bit of skill to fractalize or scale the flower of life down. But once you get to that level where you're doing that, there's all kind of possibilities open up. So just practice makes perfect. Just play, have fun.
Okay, now we're going to go over to Mario. Hi, Mario.
Hey, Mario.
Trying not to break
Oh,
my
yeah,
brain.
that's
got
looking good.
I think I finally figured out when it's like making the pattern there.
Yeah.
And then it goes 3, and then down, down, down. So,
Yeah.
so what I was thinking
So
is like,
you think this is a good?
Go ahead.
Do you think this is a good exercise in design for artists?
I think so. And then, being a teacher too, I mean, that's definitely something that I can pass along to to the math squad for enrichment and stuff too, that they can incorporate some art into their math and even science and nature patterns and things like that. So it's pretty cool, and I mean, I enjoy it.
Yeah. So like, I haven't talked about it so much today, but like the lattice structures of different types of elements all fall into this pattern. So it's pretty interesting that, you know, I don't know if they teach this stuff or not, but I imagine they do. But
Okay,
maybe
so
not in the same way. Go
we're
ahead.
gonna hop over to Matthew King. Matthew, if you're ready. Hey, what's
Matthew,
up?
what's up, brother?
You like my Corona hair?
Yeah. Looking great.
Nice.
I'm right there with you, man. Oh, that looks great, brother.
That's pretty cool. I just decided while I was drawing it, I never saw anything like this. I think I'm going to make one out of metal.
Yeah, that would be perfect. You could cut out, you know, have it like cut out sections, you know?
Yeah. Well, I make metal art.
Yeah.
I'm the one who messaged you about that.
Yeah.
I want to make you. But
Cool.
I don't know. I'm going to try this and it might be pretty rad.
Yeah, you know, I've seen so much amazing work done with this pattern, and then being able to expand beyond it is just, you know, to see where it takes you. It's just crazy. Like this piece I did behind me, this Metatron cube. This was a desperate attempt to understand what I was learning within physics. So
yeah, I didn't. I started coloring it in before I saw you make the shapes. So I was like, oh, I want to try that next time.
Yeah. And,
cool.
you know, when I look at that painting, it's one of my favorite paintings I've ever done. Not that it was a total accident, but I was really desperately just trying to understand, and I didn't believe that all these things would work. And I was doing it with paint, and I was just like, oh my gosh. And then the next thing I know, I'd been there for 2 hours and this painting came out. So it opened up something for me, and I hope it does for everybody else.
Yeah, it's very cool. Thank you.
Yeah. Uh-oh, here comes Maria. She's going to kick me off air.
I gotta keep us on time. So I just, you know, want to say I'm sorry if there were some more people that wanted to share and we just couldn't get to everybody. But there's always Friday. We've got Friday night with Jason.
Not Jason.
I mean, Jacob.
Did you talk to Jacob?
Jacob, yes, Jacob. Sorry.
Jacob from Tunnel Vision.
The best player for Tunnel Vision. I can't talk today.
So Jacob's,
I don't know.
Jacob's my good friend.
Marbles in my
we
mouth.
surf together, and he's in the band called Tunnel Vision. Him and I were in Indonesia painting surfboards together and playing music together. And so he's a good friend, and
it's going to be very relaxed, fun, and then next Monday, I think we should expand on this because so many people are into it.
Yeah.
And there's a lot more to learn, and there's only so much you can do in 1 hour.
Yeah. So maybe we'll just kind of show some composition ideas and how I use some of these mathematics to as a thought in an underpainting. And so like even when I'm painting on surfboards, a lot of times I'm measuring because there's placements like that I put things, and it's very strategic. It's not like it just looks good. Somebody looks at it and they like it, but they don't know why they like it. I know why they like it because I put something in the right spot. And so it's very important to kind of know these things. It could be the difference between, you know, for me, I don't feel my art is that great as far as technique goes, but the thought that goes into it and the placement of things have definitely made my art stand out and has made it appealing to people, and they don't even know why. But this is why. It's this underlying mathematics.
And everything you do is like a practice, right? So with repetition, you just get better and better and better at what you do.
Yeah. And if anybody's interested in this type of Buckminster Fuller, he's a great person to look up. He was a great man. He was come up with the vector equilibrium and these types of things. He's the guy that Epcot Center in Florida is all about Buckminster Fuller in the future. And so he was kind of before his time. He's a good person to look up if you're interested in design and this type of connection between math, art, and the world. Yeah.
Yeah. So have an amazing week, everybody. We will see you Friday night. It's going to be fun, relax. We're going to have a little music. And the replay to this will be on YouTube. And we will see you all soon.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody.
Ciao. Thank you.
Thanks,
Bye.
Posca.